perfect, Nikki.
Well, here we go. I need the cord not to be like in my fucking juice and everything.
Are we on?
Let me check.
Yeah, we're live.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to
Yes.
OverDose Vapes. We got a bunch of headlamps in the house. The Paul's probably being the smallest, but you know,
He's used to that.
yeah, he's used to being the smallest guy in the room.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
So, yeah,
There we
thanks
go.
for everybody for joining us. We got some of the usual suspects. We got Paul Hessian with his little headlamp. We got Nikki B, vaping with Nikki B. And we got Gizzard Stew with a diminutive headlamp. Is that a webcam?
No, that's a lamp.
It kind of looks like a webcam because it has the light on one
webcam.
side.
This fucking thing's high tech.
It's very high tech. It's pretty obvious. Yeah. And we got our good friend Yeti's uncle from www.yetiwire.com fame. Yeah, all right. So,
God damn.
What's up?
what's
I'm
up?
going blind.
Hold on a second. Everybody's going to see my desktop for a second, but I got to turn my volume up for a second. My actual headphone volume. Okay. So, yeah, all right. So, what's up? Everybody in chat, VDog55, Amy I can't say that. Herndon, I don't know. I tried. Naki, what's up, dog? Import 707. Christian John Gonzalez, what up, Mike? Kev W, Mad Dog Vapes, what's going on, Scott? Train Sonic,
Scotty.
Rin Vapes, Kenny B, and Kenny, yes, I did get all your coils and stuff. What's up, man? So, clean as fuck coils. I got yours too. We got a lot of really great coils for tonight's showcase, so that's going to be really awesome. All Day Vape. I got some of yours from last week, I think, that we didn't get a chance to show, and so we'll show those today as well. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Nate38. Billy Vapes Hard. I wonder if he's still here, because he was here really early, like 6:30, 6 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Motivated.
yeah, well, if people don't know, I usually open up the chat probably at least 2 hours before the show starts. So if you guys ever wanted to just kind of interact with me or any of the other people that are on the panel, come fuck around with the chat.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy with me cotton.
Are you very happy with your cotton? All right. Mad Dog, what's going on?
Love my cotton long time.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Go ahead and give us some love there. It always helps. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. We've been talking about Anger Rabbit. I mean, everybody's been talking about it for the past couple of weeks. It's the new kid on the block. It's this, I've been hearing a lot of crazy, bold claims about it being better than this and better than that. But, it's cotton. So let's not get too crazy, everybody. But, here's the thing. Giz, you got your cotton bacon there. Do you also have your Anger Rabbit cotton with you?
I ain't showing that.
Can you
ugly-
show them up close next to each other?
I'm not showing that ugly rabbit.
It's just you can't really tell with Giz's. But in my video, we just recorded the video, and I did an up close shot with the two of them together, and the coloring on both of them are fucking identical. I mean, when you really have them together, it's striking how similar they are to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But the cottons are radically different. I mean, there's just no way around that. So, so we did film a review finally. The reason why it took so long is because with a wick, it's not like a juice where you can just give your first impressions. A wick is something you need to get to know. Like it might seem fine at first, but then it doesn't hold up over time. Who knows, right? So watch the review to get our final opinions of that. But I just kind of wanted to talk about something that happened is that the people who make Anger Rabbit, they contacted us, and they just kind of expressed mild dissatisfaction with the fact that it's taken us so long to do this review. Now, like I just told you guys, and like I told them, is that I like to get to know these products before I use them, and they weren't aggressive in any way. If anything, they were passive aggressive.
We send you cotton. Where is you?
It has been a very, very, very long time. But you know, so I just for companies, if anybody's watching this, you know, for a juice company, uh, a juice can be done very quickly and doesn't really need a lot of prep time, you know. And if I vape a juice longer than a first impression, a lot of times we'll go back and revisit that juice and talk about it some more if we like it more or like it less. But for these kind of products, you know, it's more about the consumer, and we really want to protect the consumer. And so that's why we wanted to use the cotton over a couple of weeks. And just like with mods and stuff, like the Funky 160, we were one of the first people to get these mods, right? But we have just now this Saturday filmed the review for it because I don't want to. I can't use this for one day and do a review on it and then tell you guys.
You could do a first look.
Yeah, no, we definitely could. But like, I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending this to somebody if I didn't use it for at least a couple weeks. Because as it turns out, there's actually a few issues with this thing. The battery sled is very subpar. It looks nice, but not all size batteries fit snugly. The batteries drain at different rates, which, you know, I just don't know if that's normal or not. You know, there's just a lot of ifs about this, and you know, it's $50, and so it's super cheap and it's really well made, you know, but there are problems with it, and I wouldn't have known that.
It only fires down to
0.1,
yeah.
Which is an issue, and there's a lot of these things in the temperature control functions, and that's about all I can say about it. You know, it functions, but like, there's a lot of things I wouldn't have known if I would have just grabbed this, used it for one day, and then did a review. And so, you know, luckily the people who sent us this Vape Wild, the lady who works at Vape Wild used to run Skyline Vapor. Skyline Vapor has been absorbed by Vape Wild, and so they're super cool. They have nothing but love for us, and they don't, you know, takes 1 week or 3 weeks, they don't really care. But some companies, you know, because at the end of the day, the reason these companies send this is for promotion reasons. They want their products promoted, and so they don't really care about whether or not we use it enough. They just want us to get it out as quickly as possible. And you know, so if you're watching this, we try to look out for the consumers, and we will do things to promote your products if we like them, or if we think they're interesting. You know, like putting them on our Instagram or on our Facebook group, or talking about them during the live stream, which is, people have watched this. We've talked about the Anger Rabbit every Sunday for the past 3 weeks.
Right.
So, you know, I just kind of want to get that off my chest.
They don't watch our live streams, obviously.
No, they don't.
Clearly.
No. Well, and you know, and it's in the case of Yumi, there seems to be some miscommunication between the actual employees of Yumi, because I've been contacted by Tina, who's our original contact person, and who sent us the cotton. She's contacted me twice more to ask me if I want to review the cotton. Now,
yeah, send me some more.
I've been nice enough to say, look, Tina, you've already sent us. Tina, first off, right? You've already sent us this product. You don't need to send us anymore. But then another guy contacted us, you know, who's like, hey, where's that review? And I'm like, well, I've already been talking to Tina about this, and I've told her the same thing I'm going to tell you. So, you know, with these big companies, and who knows what else Yumi does.
You Google Yumi, it takes you to some clothing company, like recycled clothing.
Okay.
So the only place I could find anything out about Yumi was the fact that it's written on their packaging.
Yeah.
It's very bad branding, because it doesn't take you to a Yumi website or anything like that. They do have the AngorRabbit.com website.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, but then they failed to put that on their packaging, but they put Yumi on their packaging, which takes you nowhere.
And this is something I've seen as somebody who collects video games and stuff, and like random, you know, arcade emulator handhelds from Hong Kong and shit. We see that a lot, where they'll have like a company name, but it's just some name they use for that particular product, and then they never use it again, and it's actually part of a larger parent company. And if you look on the Anger Rabbit cotton packaging, it's actually like Shenzhen Technology Limited or some shit like that. I can't remember exactly what it is.
The stupidest thing on that package is it says "Find Yumi." So it's like, find Yumi, and you try and find Yumi, and you can't.
Yeah.
It's like good luck.
Like,
good fucking luck.
Maybe you should have put findangorrabbit.com. You know?
Yeah. What's up going on, Tommy?
Stupid.
Yeah, did anybody watch? Maybe we got more people because Game of Thrones got leaked online, and so I'm hoping a lot of people just watched it online and they're not going to watch it tonight.
Well, it's over at 9, so people that were watching it should be done with it by now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And hopefully some people saw it on Wednesday.
Yeah. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones because somebody gave me like the Blu-rays of them. I don't have HBO. I don't have cable at all, so because we don't watch a lot of TV except for like YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
And so I haven't really gotten into it. I mean, it's interesting. There just seems
once you get past season 1 and into season 2, you'll get sucked in, dude. Trust me.
I'm way more of a comedy
I did season
person.
1 last week, and so am I though. And I never watched. I hate TV. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I love Game of Thrones. I am enthralled.
Well, Game of Thrones is much more like a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have the biggest budget.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like a film budget. It's not like a TV budget.
Especially now.
Yeah. I admit I watched half of it and then I hit record so I can watch the rest of it after the show.
That's right on. Thank you very much. No, I get it. No, I really do. Even the first season was really, really good. The production values are through the roof. The story is very well crafted. George R.R. Martin is a great writer for that kind of story. His shit's all kind of like that, though. From what I've read of his stuff, the books are great. I mean, if anybody, I have read the first 3 books of the Game of Thrones books. The Fire and Ice and all that shit, and I liked those a lot. They're well written for that kind of high fantasy realism, I guess is what you would call it. And so I get it. It's just that when I'm watching something to relax. The work I deal with a lot of violence. The life that I led as an addict and as somebody on the streets was full of violence, and just that kind of stuff holds so little appeal to me that I would so much rather watch something stupid like Police Academy, or fucking just something stupid. And
how about South Park?
I used to really like South
UHF.
Park. UHF with Weird Al.
Herman?
No child molesters.
He likes going into the Blue Oyster Bar. You know that, right?
Yes. No, there's a lot of things I like that. Have you guys seen
SpongeBob?
I do actually like SpongeBob. No, Workaholics on Comedy Central. Have you guys seen any of that? No.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's really, really good.
It's good.
It's really good. It's like an underground kind of comedy show from a bunch of young kids. It's really good. That kind of shit. I just like comedy. I want to laugh. I don't want to sit and go, oh, they really stabbed that guy in the dick. Well, that was a good dick stab.
That guy lost his balls.
That guy got his shit cut off. That's awesome. No. No thanks. Not for me, I do get it. It's just same with Walking Dead. Or even Breaking Bad, which I did watch all of Breaking Bad, and I watched all of Sons of Anarchy. Because those are, I like those kind of shows. Part of me does. I just can't watch a lot of them all at once. It's just too much. It's too much for me.
I get it.
People who have been through a lot of shit always understand, It's like, I don't want to see a bunch of violence. This is the last thing I want to see. Except when it's the fight. I can't wait for Mayweather and fucking, what's his face? I think Mayweather's going to fuck him up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
We shall see.
I hope I'm wrong because I would really love to see. I'd really love to see him pull out a victory. McGregor, yeah, that's what his name is. Yeah, because he's a badass.
Colin McGregor.
Colin McGregor, yeah.
Oh, he's a bad motherfucker, dude.
He's the Connor.
Oh, Connor. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Conor McGregor.
He's the best, in my opinion, the best UFC fighter of the last 5-10 years.
Yep.
He's a bad motherfucker.
He is, but he's not a boxer.
Right.
And you can't just learn boxing in a year or 18 months or however long they've been training for this fight.
Motherfucker.
Boxing has rules.
It does.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I hate to say this, but here's the deal about Irish fighters.
Oh,
you learn to box at a very young age.
Oh, you mix are all the same.
Yep.
No, he's obviously a good fighter, and the fucking guy can throw hands. I just don't know if he can sit in a ring for fucking 12 rounds with
Toe-to-toe.
Mayweather, man. Mayweather's not a joke. I mean, this guy's not like a clown. He's a world-class boxer, and so I don't
Yeah.
know. But he's also hasn't fought for years, and so it's gonna be.
He's a clown.
Well, Mayweather hasn't knocked anybody out in like 10 years.
I was
so
gonna say, that's what I was meaning. Is that
I
he
think
hasn't
he-
even
I think-
fought in years, so
I think he might be due.
it
for
could be.
knock-
Could be. I'm excited for it. I really am. I have no dog in the fight. I don't care either way. I'm just in it for the fight. I think it's gonna be a great fight. I'm really,
It's kinda
really excited about it.
It's all about money. I mean, it's not, that's
Neither
all.
one of those guys are walking out of that ring a loser because they're both getting fucking paid. Like so paid, man.
Neither one of them are walking into it, loser.
Yeah, it's true.
Fight.
The exciting thing has just been back to
build
F-bomb,
up.
Travis, Irish Power. Like the weigh-ins and shit have been very tense, and I've been enjoying that as well. At first I really thought I was watching like the Joe Rogan podcast, and like they were like, "Fucking Connor's gonna take it," and I'm like, "Yeah, he is gonna fucking take it." And then I'm like just watching old Mayweather fights and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. This guy's a badass too. So yeah. So All Day Vape has a great point. There's a reason why Mayweather was the highest paid boxer, and that's
Yeah.
fucking so true. So what's going on, Giancarlo?
Holy shit, G's in the house. What up, G?
KBN, what's going on, my man? The Link, what up?
Messing with them out there.
All Day said, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's done plenty of boxing. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the kid definitely grew up fighting. I mean, you could tell. And he's gotten big. Have you seen him lately? He's pumped. He's getting big, dude.
Yep.
But they're also saying, yeah, I've heard that too, Auntie. They're saying he's using like
Yes, he
HGH and shit, So we'll see. Like I said, no dog in the fight. Just very, very interested to see that fight happen. It's kind of like a circus show, All right. Anyway, yeah. So enough violence. See, like I'm like I hate violence, and then I get really
I hate
pumped up.
violence. Fucking fight, bro.
I hate violence, so I want to watch this boxing match.
So you're going to be on Tommy's show on Thursday,
Am I?
Travis?
Yeah, no, I definitely am. Yeah. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be fun.
Yep. Travis will be our guest Thursday at No Fucks Vaping.
Yeah.
Nice.
Make
Well,
sure-
that's
It's
good.
It's Travis's turn underneath the interrogation light.
I will actually be
Bring
able
it
to
on.
attend and watch the show for once, finally.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to that even more than the fight. Here's the thing. Okay, one more thing about the fight, not about the fight specifically, just about my seeming changing opinions on violence. When you see violence in the street, or you see somebody get their getting castrated on Game of Thrones, that's like a really like real, visceral kind of ugly violence. When you see two trained athletes engaging in a fight that's been part of human history for thousands of years. Boxing has been like an Olympic sport since the early Olympics, like the old school in the fucking Coliseum Olympics. And so I think there's really something special about that. We'll see though.
Yep, I agree.
Ooh, Giancarlo. Oh, that's a good bet. Oh, I want to take that bet. Giancarlo's got a mech mod on McGregor. What mech mod? That's what I want to know. For the right one, I might be in for that.
Freddie's got an 1111 stack tube.
Just the tube.
Just the tube. Just the tube.
Oh my god. Oh, it's sport. Yeah, it's definitely sport. Okay, so so the coils that we're looking at tonight, we're not going to look at them right this second, but I just want to kind of go over that. Is we kind of decided we're going to look at just what everybody uses on a daily basis, like their all day vape kind of things. And we've talked about all day vape, what makes an all day vape, I think, on the show before, a while ago. And I just kind of wanted to see if anybody had has had like a change in opinion about what makes something good for a long-term vape. You know, like what do you look for in like a long-term vape?
I mean, I wouldn't say anything really has changed over the last couple of
Thank you.
months since we've talked about it last, but it also depends on, the quality of juices that you're using, the trends that you're going through, sweeteners, no sweeteners. Do you really want coils getting fully gunked up, and all that, How I see an all-day vape really is just, is it going to last me? Is it going to, vape correct throughout the whole span of the day without having to fuck with the cotton, fuck with the coils, fuck with, anything? Especially since I'm a mech user, these things dry, you get a hot spot real quick on stainless steel if you're chain vaping it. So it all depends on what your style of vaping is for that day. I mean.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is because, and I agree with you totally. I mean, it's gonna really depend day to day a lot for me. But what made me think about it? Oh my god, I just lost my train of thought. Holy shit! And it's important too. Damn it. What were you saying?
We were talking about cloned goons.
No, come on. You're throwing me way off now. No, Paul was saying it depends on day to day.
It depends on day to day. Stainless steel. What wire
sweetener.
Sweeteners.
Sweetener.
Right.
Okay. There we go. So, sweetener. I don't like sweetener personally in my juices, right? But I've really been thinking about sweeteners a lot because I've been talking to this company who were like, yeah, we totally don't use sweeteners except in this juice. In the custards and shit, right? And I'm like, oh, I totally get it, And I was thinking, like, how important is it to me if the juice is good, if there's sweetener in it? Like, some people they need to worry about their coils, they need to worry about their cotton. Maybe they're using pre-built coils, and they don't want to like have the added expense of having those last, less amount of time than like a non-sweetened juice. But for me, I change my cotton and shit every few days. It's I change my coils every few days. Sweetener's really not an issue for me. And if it adds to a flavor, then I definitely would not mind it. But definitely, I do see that some people wouldn't like sweeteners in their juice. But I have kind of changed my opinion on it as like a totally no. I think that it kind of depends. If the juice maker feels like they need that, I guess that I'm not totally against sweeteners, but I still wouldn't use them personally. So
let me weigh in on that just a little bit. Even if you don't use sweetener in your e-liquid, like if you're DIYing it or in their recipes, a lot of times it still has some sweetener in it because the flavorings themselves have sweetener. Like for instance, cinnamon rolls with squirrel or whatever. It's got sweetener right in the flavoring, or things you can substitute for super sweet type of sweeteners would be like marshmallow and stuff like that, which has sweetener in the flavoring already. I think where I don't like it is when they're adding 1%, 2%, 3% sweetener on top of everything just to make it palatable. And if it leaves an aftertaste,
is that I can taste it, and it doesn't add to the flavor. It detracts from the flavor. It makes me go, wow, there's a lot of sweetener in there, But if I didn't know it was in there, it wouldn't bother me, of course, because like Clean says here in the chat, sweetener doesn't bother me. I make my own coils, and so I feel the same way in that sense. And this juice here, I'm vaping. It's a Honey Mellow from ADV. I really, really like this juice, and it's definitely got sweetener in it. I mean, there's no way around it. It's a fucking sweet juice.
Is that ADV?
Yeah, right from your home fucking state there, bruh.
I fucking love those guys, John Nathan and the guys over at Beantown.
Just look at the color of that juice. It's fucking gorgeous.
Great fucking people.
Yeah, and it's a good
fantastic juice. Great people. Yeah, oh yeah.
And so, and so. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, any of their lines that they deal with, they put a lot of care into every single fucking bottle.
The
So,
juice is well crafted, and and it's really one of the things that's making me been thinking about all day vapes, because this is like crafted to be an all day vape, except
Yep.
for that it has a little bit of sweetener in it, and I wouldn't recommend this for a tank because it's so dense with flavor that I think it would kind of gum up the works after like a few days, probably.
John actually recommends it highly for dripping specifically.
Oh,
so.
definitely. I mean, it's great in a dripper, 100%. And here's another thing is that I don't add sweetener to my juice, but you're right in the sense that the flavorings I use have sweetener in them, and I've been noticing that my juice is not as clean as I would like it to be because of the flavors that I use. It's I use some sweet strawberry. I use butterscotch. Those two flavors have a ton of sweetener in them,
Yep.
And
the only way you can get around that is change your percentages.
Yeah.
To where you can tweak it. Maybe you can use less, a lower percentage of the sweetened flavorings.
Yeah, and I've actually my original recipe was only sweet strawberry, and I've actually since changed that to being a third sweet strawberry and 2/3 of the ripe strawberry, which I like a lot. I think that's a good combination, the two together. I love that ripe strawberry flavor. I tell you what, the best strawberry flavor I've had in a long time was from the strawberry donut out of the Vaping Swag breakfast donut line. That is a fucking good juice, man. That strawberry is my it's just as good actually as Siren Song. It reminds me a lot of Siren Song. It's so good. It fucking blew me away. Me and Josh just reviewed it on Saturday. We were both like, this is fucking incredible. It's
The
so
thing
good.
you might not know this, or you might know this, but on Swag's strawberry, he makes it from strawberries.
Is that right?
It's
Wow.
not you'll never replicate that because he's not using any commercial strawberry in that.
And it shows, man. This shit is fucking incredible. The lemonade's good, and I've heard really good things about the lemonade.
Oh.
So far. Yeah.
Fucking
A
awesome.
lot of his fruits, his blueberries really good,
I thought this
and his strawberry, and a lot of his fruit flavors, he actually makes the flavoring himself.
That's good. You can tell, okay, and the juice is top notch. And it's and we were talking about that too. Is that like it's a ripe strawberry, and it tastes like a little bit like the ripe strawberry flavoring, except it doesn't have the seediness or like the earthiness, that kind of off flavor that a lot of times you'll get from a ripe strawberry flavor, where it tastes a little green sometimes. This does not suffer from that. And if anybody's looking for a quality strawberry juice, definitely you should be checking out Vaping Swag's strawberry donut. There's Josh's only complaint was that it's not, there's not a ton of donut up front. But honestly, I didn't give a fuck, man. That fucking juice was so good. It's like, whatever this is, you could call it fucking honey nuts. I don't care. It's fucking delicious, That would be a little misleading calling it honey nuts, but
Asking if you'd have
It's
just a
fucking
regular
bomb.
donut. That way you could always sit there and kind of do a remix with them in case you want a little extra donut.
I wouldn't even want to touch this flavor. To tell you the truth, it's
Yeah,
so good.
To people that do want that extra donut, it'd be kind of cool.
Donut. Here's another thing. It might just be that we haven't steeped it long enough, or I'm not saying that these juices need to be steeped, but the donut flavorings, assuming he's using donut flavorings that are commercial, I don't know if they are not. But those flavorings take forever to mature. I mean, like months to mature. I have donut flavorings, and I tried to make a donut juice. I ended up I just wasn't happy with it, and so I got online and was doing a lot of research. And people are like, just put that fucking flavoring away for like 3 months, and then come back and try to make juices with it. And so that's what I've been doing. I'm waiting for it to kind of mature a little bit. Donuts are hard. We did a whole donut week one time, and out of all those juices, I mean, there was maybe 2 that like you can go, wow, there's donut in that. I can taste donut. Most of the time you're like, oh, there's some kind of dough. It's fruity, and that just seems to be a really common problem. Some flavors, people, and everybody on the panel knows, some flavors are just tough, and they're never going to be done right.
John Mueller, he extracts from his own donuts.
He extracts his own donuts. Probably does. You got a little beaker of little miniature fucking donuts.
That's another thing, though. Even when you're buying real donuts, cakey part of the donut is all over the board.
Yeah.
You buy you buy different brands, and the cake part of it tastes different.
Yeah, like Krispy Kreme versus Dunkin' Donuts.
Correct. Or some of them taste almost like a bread. Some of them, like a cinnamon roll, tastes way different than like a yellow cake donut.
And there's different donuts all over the world, so
Right.
it depends. It's just like depends on what part of.
I don't know if you guys have you guys had crullers? Those
Oh,
donuts that look like they're twisted or whatever.
Mhm.
Those tend to have
Claws.
a
Yeah.
completely different kind of bread to them. So
You make me hungry. Shut up.
No, oh, you should have seen my show last night. Everybody was talking about food. Everybody's like sitting there talking about chips and certain things, and everybody's like, somebody's got the munchies. I was like, all good. Like, come on.
I wanted to touch on back to what you find as an all-day vape.
Yeah.
Adore e-liquid is a good example, and it kind of is across the line. And the things that, for me, how I kind of determine that it's an all-day vape is when you're going through 120s of shit.
Yeah.
So if you buy something and you enjoy it or whatever, and yeah, I enjoy this, but I still have half a bottle,
Yep.
and I've had it for a month or two. Whereas, there's certain juices that it's like, shit, I went through 120 in a week, and to me, that's when you're in the all-day vape status.
Two days of a 60 mil.
If you're pounding through it, more than likely it's an all-day vape.
That's exactly right. Is that if you can't keep the juice in your house, then you found yourself an all-day vape. I go through 1,000 mils at a time of my own juice that I make, and that's how I know I like it. Is that I've vaped 5,000 mils of it so far since I've started making it. That's and not that long of a period of time, probably 4 months since I've actually started making this juice, and I vaped a lot of it, but what makes it an all-day vape to me? It's like it should be flexible. It shouldn't be like locked down by its profile. A lot of times we get so hung up on profile. Like, oh, it doesn't taste like this. It does taste like that, right? And I'm guilty of it too. When we're doing reviews, we always hammer on the profile. But we've tried to kind of pull back from that a little bit. Like, okay, it doesn't have to be identical to what they're saying it is if it just works as a product. It doesn't have to taste like fucking, Frosted Flakes with fucking moonsicles. It's just, is it good? Does it work? Is it, does it give you a surprise every once in a while? Is it flexible? Can you get different notes at different times with different builds? And also, is it too punchy? Is the flavor too pronounced? Because I don't like that in an all-day vape. I want something that's going to be light, but also still be present. It's a complicated kind of mixture, and that's why I will vape things like this, for a day. But when it comes to the long haul, I'm gonna be vaping something I know and I trust, and it will still surprise me.
Or like this lemon ecstasy, right? It's a lemon meringue pudding.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But if it was a lemon meringue pie with that dry pie crust, I wouldn't probably be vaping 120 mils of it in a week.
No,
But-
no.
And I don't ever remember like going anywhere and ordering a lemon meringue pudding.
I don't even know if that's a thing.
So it's a good example of exactly what you're talking about. It's something where somebody she thought outside the box, and she created just a great vape, but it's not lemon meringue pie.
And Gez, somebody's wanting to correct you. You say you're going through 120s. They're not 120s.
Oh yeah, they're
150s.
Geez, what?
You get an extra 30 mils with the door.
And it's so true. Is that you got to think outside the box. Just like the juice that I love, the one that I make is the profile is it's a strawberry butterscotch cream. That's not anything you would get in real life. What would that be? Even like a cup with fucking milk in it? It's not a thing. But it's just that those flavors to me work really well together, and that's where, and I really think we're heading in that direction where people are thinking less in the sense of like kitchen of like,
Yeah.
this is something I've eaten, and yet so I want to vape that, and more and thinking more along the lines of like, hey, this is gonna work as a vape. Now,
Right.
whether or not it works as a food is irrelevant. Will
Is
it
it a
work
good?
like this?
Is it a good vape?
Yeah,
No,
that's so important to me.
vaping's different than eating.
Yes, we don't smoke our food unless in a smoker,
Well, yeah.
but we don't smoke it in a in a literal sense.
I don't know what
inhale
you're
it.
talking about.
As Paul lights up a sausage. What do you mean?
Sausage vape.
Hash, I believe that too. So you went, no, the statement you said you went through 120 mils of this one in 24
Of this
hours.
one in 24 hours, yeah. This one,
Look.
that one, any of the dem things,
I-
that fucking love that shit.
Most people that know anything about me know that I absolutely abhor custard. I can't stand it. I don't like it. I won't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Same.
This one
one's
takes the
different.
cake though. Yeah.
I actually love this one.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I don't know. There's just something about it.
No, I
Because
agree
it
with
doesn't
you.
have that eggy shit in it.
I agree with you. I had major issues with tons of custards, and especially Charlie Noble when I first started vaping, and Travis was doing the Charlie Noble reviews and everything
Love
like
those
that.
juices,
And
man. Oh my
I love their juices too, but that custard I could never get behind whatsoever. And then fucking this one came out, and I'm like,
Charlie's custard is a solid flavor for custard people, but it's a very traditional custard. There's
Yeah,
there's no bells and whistles with that juice.
you get the super egginess of it though,
It's one of only a handful. I mean, think about all the custards. I mean, as a reviewer, for me and Nikki especially, but for you guys too, you guys have probably tried hundreds of custards because I know I've vaped hundreds of custards, and I can only, I can fit all the ones that actually taste like custard in one hand.
Right.
In one fucking hand, like the majority of them are these wacky takes on what, with a custard base with a bunch of weird shit added to it, and that's fine if it works. But like, there's really very few traditional, what I would call accurate custards, and for a reason, not everybody loves custard. I don't eat custard in my real life. Who the fuck does,
Yeah.
Except maybe in a donut or something, but. It's not like I'm ordering like, hey, bring me a custard, custard pie, please. Nobody does that.
Like
I do.
Like
Well-
cannoli, like the cannoli vapes. I'm like, I don't live in a place where they actually make authentic cannolis, And I'm like, I've never had a true authentic cannoli. How am I supposed to know what that tastes like?
Custard's not real popular in the United
No.
States either. Not like a bowl of custard. Here we have pudding.
Yeah.
And places like Europe and the UK, they have custard. More readily available than what we would have.
It's funny because I don't want to rag on other reviewers. I'll keep their names out of it. But there's these young guys, and they're reviewers, and
Josh and Travis.
Josh and Travis. No, but they're younger than us, and when they first started, they were contacting us and like, oh, you guys are great, and we kind of got our idea about doing it with two guys like you guys do it and shit. And they have their own fan base. They're doing very well for themselves. But I've watched them do reviews of custards, and they're like, shit doesn't really taste like a traditional custard to me, and I'm like thinking like, have you ever eaten custard? I mean, like, I'm not even trying to be mean, but have you actually ever had a custard in your whole life? Like, just eaten a bite of custard? And, the answer is going to be no. Those guys don't eat custard. They're fucking a bunch of hood rats. They don't eat custard and shit. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Probably wouldn't know custard ever fucking hit you in the face.
No, and when people's ideas of regular flavors are based on what they've vaped,
Yeah.
it can be a little iffy, so... Train Sonic said he saw a dude in Kuwait raving about this one. Vaping's worldwide, and whenever I see people that are vaping in like Iraq, it always blows my mind, because you think of Iraq as being this like hole where we've bombed it so fucking much that it doesn't exist anymore. But there's people there, normal people that are trying to live and trying to vape, and that's kind of sad.
It's illegal in Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
to vape. I've even, little old me, I've been contacted by 3 Middle Eastern countries for my coils.
Wow, that's great.
reviewers in Middle Eastern countries.
That's awesome.
So there's actually apparently a YouTube vape community over there, at least in a couple countries.
I have
Smaller
come across a lot of random. Every country does have a representation on YouTube as far as vaping. From what I've seen, at least, there's ones in Norway, and I try to reach out to a lot of these people to the best of my ability. If they don't speak English and if I don't speak Dutch or whatever, it's hard to do that. But I do try to contact them because we don't get those popping up in our feed a lot.
Yeah.
Because they tend to give us English speaking stuff. So, but if you search for things, you can find them out there. There's Japanese reviewers, that I've actually come to be friends with on Instagram, and so it is a worldwide thing, which is always blows my mind.
I wanted to say one more thing about custards, is that custards themselves are all over the board in real life. Some people, especially in the United States, custard is referred to as like a soft serve ice cream. Like there's places you go to Dairy Queen, and in certain parts of our country they call it custard. It's not really a custard to me. It's a soft serve ice cream. Yeah. And then if you get a custard in England, it's basically eggs, milk, and sugar. They beat it up and then it's baked in a crust. So it's like a custard tart or whatever. And flan, if you guys have ever had flan, which is a butterscotch custard.
It's delicious too.
And it's baked in like a little, has a graham cracker crust.
It's in a little ramekin and shit a lot of times.
Yeah. So, you got to kind of almost get your definition of custard, because that's all over the board too.
Totally right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right.
Frozen custard's not the same thing as custard.
Right, but some people like from back east and stuff, if you say custard, that's what they think of.
Yeah,
they think of soft serve ice cream, basically.
Yeah. There's a place right next to one of the Auntie Anne's in the mall by my house. It's a frozen custard place, and it's fucking soft serve. Yeah. Like, shut the fuck up.
But that's just what they've always called it back then, man. Back there.
So. I've never heard it called frozen custard till this place fucking popped up.
I've heard that a lot. In certain states, especially, they don't even refer to it as like ice cream or whatever. They just say frozen custard. So, because custard, here's the thing about. So I used to make ice cream a lot because I used to work at this restaurant where we made everything from scratch, including ice cream. And I love to make ice cream to this day. And really, there's a lot of similarities to a custard and an ice cream before you freeze it.
Because it's milk, eggs, and sugar.
Exactly. And for a good ice cream, there's egg yolks, all that shit in there. And you call it a crème anglaise, is what you call it in French. And it's like we would take the ice cream before we froze it and use it as like to put on top of cheesecake or whatever, right? Because it's just a good base, and you can make custard out of that, if you bake it as opposed to freezing it. So there's a lot of similarities to it. Flan is like another example of that, where it is, baked but then served cold. So I love flan. We live in a very a Latino heavy community here, and so we have tons of Mexican restaurants, and not like Taco Bell restaurants or Chipotle, but like names that I don't know what the fuck they mean, and fucking and people who don't speak English that work there, and those are the best restaurants to go to. I love those.
La Taco Izquierda.
El Taco.
Or El Pollo Loco, like the crazy chicken. It used to be my favorite restaurant growing up until I got food poisoning from it. Oh my god, that's rough.
Yeah, one of my favorite places in one section of Boston that I used to live was La Habana, Cuba, and it was just Cuban sandwiches. That's it.
Yeah, Cuban sandwiches are shit. They're so good. Oh my god. Okay, let's not start talking about food.
Enough.
Bastards. Anybody else have anything to say about? Oh shit! So I got some messages from China again. Maybe they're watching this right now.
Oh, you piss us off.
You make us mad.
Oh wow! Here we go.
You die 1,000 deaths by swords from ancient China.
Die round eye.
Ash, I can guarantee you're not getting no
Oh, he's mad. He's mad now. He said, okay, so thank you for your reply. But what I want to tell you is that Tina is my colleague. It's unfair for me if you post her contact information below your social media. I never said that. I never. Why would I say anything about who sent it to me except for right now on this show? And why don't you contact me? Exclamation point. I'm the one who sent you the samples. Like, is this a competition between these guys?
Is it Tony? Is it Tony that you're talking to?
Trover.
That's a third one. I've never heard of it.
Trover.
That's the one that contacted me.
Trover? Yeah, Trover's the one who contacted me originally, actually. He's right. But, like, what does it matter?
My contact was Tony, the vice president of marketing.
Get the front door. Yeah, so he's very upset with me.
Just send him a message and say, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I want to talk to Tony.
And check this out. He's saying, I hope you can post my contact information below your social media, not Tina. Hope you can understand.
I'm telling Tina.
Trover, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Honestly, I don't get it.
They have different salespeople within the company. So he is your contact, not Tina, I guess.
I would never say who the fuck sent it to me anyways below my social media. I'm like, oh, thanks, Trover. That's not a name. Trover? I don't even know what that means.
Roll over.
You got to understand what's going on there, Travis. You know, it's like you go into a car dealership and you talk to Bob about buying your Porsche. And then you go, well, let me think about it. And then you come back the next day and you buy the Porsche from Tina. Well, fuck, Bob's going to be pissed off.
Especially if Bob took me for a fucking test drive and spent an hour telling me about the car. And then Tina gets the commission. I get it.
So
but
now
I didn't realize there was like a commission thing here because I didn't buy anything.
Well, you know, the world, it's the same all over.
Yeah, true.
Well, you gotta realize, you know, you can put the contact information down, but know what? U.S. distributor is Cafe Innovate.
Yeah.
So unless you can't buy it in the U.S. unless you go through Cafe Innovate.
Well, and here's the thing: is that where would I don't. They never gave me a site to send people to.
Cafe Innovate. Just do that because that's the U.S. distributor. I mean, 3F and Fast Tech are selling it.
I have to interject here, Travis. You got to just tell people to find you me.
Yeah, find you me.
Find you me.
All right, we're getting dangerously close to racism, but I am at least. I just think that it's just hilarious because, you know, at the end of the day, like I was saying at the beginning, this is more of a favor to this company, and it took me a long time to get here where I feel this way. But it's the truth, is that it's much more of a favor that I'm doing for them by giving them this exposure to my audience that trusts me than it is for them to send me a fucking case of cotton that I don't care about. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the same with any product. You can send me a $500 mech mod. It doesn't, please do. But it doesn't matter because what that means to me is like this one-time thing. I get something free, which honestly doesn't really mean that much to me. But for them, it's like this, they have a presence in my community now, and that video is not going away. It's not like that video is temporary. For the rest of the time that YouTube is available, somebody can get on my channel and look at a review of that product. And so it's like this ongoing, you know, representation of their products. And so that's a pretty big win for them. And it always kind of shocks me that they will try to push you around a little bit when it's like, hey man, like, this is something that I'm doing as like a giant service to you guys, free of charge. And normally to advertise, it would cost you tons of money. And to get the same word of mouth kind of campaign that has been started by all of us here on YouTube, I mean, you can't put a price on that. You really can't, because we are all of us here, and people like us in our little group are totally responsible for any popularity that this new Angry Rabbit Cotton has gotten. In my opinion.
I would like to say one thing too. If anyone would like to send me a $500 mech mod, I'll make sure that I review it right away.
I won't even look at it. I'll just grab the fucking mech and grab a camera. Well, for that, I probably would. Send me your mech mods. I'll definitely look at them. All right.
All righty then.
I think we've
But I have a belly button.
Damn it, Link.
I think we've devoted enough of the show at this point to Anger Rabbit.
These guys have really milked a lot of fucking attention out of me. I know that much.
If I see a belly button one more time, I'm going to time him out for 30 seconds.
Do it. Who, Link?
Yes, I'm tired of the belly button.
Better watch yourself, Link. The lady's got a wrench and she knows how to use it.
Too late.
Burn. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we only got a half an hour left, so why don't we start looking at these coils that we got sent? We got a ton of shit to look at. And, you know, so far so good. We have not had a crash for this show, and I really do think that I've got it all figured out. Okay?
You gotta, to prevent a crash, you must dump your cash.
Exactly, and I did, and I totally did, and I actually even I did before I even started dumping caches and all that shit. I have a program called ADV. It's for testing specific. You do stress tests on specific components of your computer, and so I just ran one. It did everything about my CPU, my actual processor, and it kept hitting these fatal errors, right? And in that program, it won't actually hard crash the computer. It will stop it before it happens. So you can kind of like troubleshoot, right? And so I did it, and then I started doing it piece by piece. Everything was fine, but then eventually I got to the cache, the L2 cache on my CPU, and I would do the stress test, and it would immediately fail. And so then I started Googling, you know, what does that mean? What the fuck? Do I need a new processor? Turns out no, that it's just all this information that's stored there temporarily from things like Google. Chrome is a big one. All of your search history lives in that cache. You know, it's like a physical location. It's not in the cloud or whatever, right? It's like on your computer. And it's not just Google search results and shit. It's like every time you go to a website, there's these things called cookies that's like this temporary information that they keep on your computer. And there's just a lot of stuff that gets stored temporarily. And
I like cookies.
Me too. I like cookies. And so since I have fucked with that stuff, it has been okay. So, Rosa Pooney, do you mean the Cobra cake? She's got to mean the Cobra cake. I sent Rosa Pooney a bottle of Cobra cake because she was supposed to get some White Girl, and it never got to her. So I made it up to her. I sent her a bottle of White Girl as well as a bottle of Cobra cake.
Oh,
And that Cobra cake was fucking on point, dude. Really, like in all reality, I think it's better than White Girl because White Girl I made for myself, and Cobra cake is just something I think everybody has the potential to like.
I'm ready to try it. Is it ready yet?
It's ready, yeah. She's talking about it, yeah. Well, thank you, Rosa. I really appreciate that. I kind of have a feeling people are going to like it. So, all right, let's start looking at these coils. All right, there we go. Share my screen. There it is. That's the one. Okay, as you can see, we got a ton of coils here. Starting with Yeti. Yeti, do you not want me to show the ones that you said aren't part of this?
The top left ones?
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but there's nothing special about them. They're just coils.
Okay.
I accidentally clicked it.
I think I'll just show them anyways.
Okay.
Did you get some aliens? Just regular aliens? Okay.
Yeah, they're just the first batch of aliens I made.
They look clean though. Like your first ever?
Yeah.
Wow, no way. We're looking at history here. And there's like I can see, look, there's like a little space right here.
Yeah.
Where it's not perfectly spaced. Ooh, look at that. See, this is suddenly much more fascinating to me now. Still look good. Look way better than mine. My first aliens, I had so much trouble with the smaller gauge wire, like the 36 gauge Canthal as the wrap, that I ended up using 32 gauge Canthal around 24 gauge wire. What do you call it? Cores, right? And so the coils themselves were fucking huge. I mean, they're giant chunks of metal. Not very functional.
I believe those are 2634s, if I'm not mistaken.
Excellent. Okay. Now, sticking with Yeti, this is Yeti's all-day go-to coil setup.
Yep.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us about it?
All it is the what I use nowadays is a version of that, which is I use a 5 wrap 26 by usually 38 or 40 fused Clapton with a 26 by usually 36 helix wire. This one's just a twisted wire, but that's all it is. It's just I'm just using a helix wire for a stage heating wire. And this I've found this to be the way I make it is with 5 wraps of the fused Clapton and 4 wraps of the stage heating wire, and it just makes a badass. It's a badass flavor build for Max.
Yeah, any like 4 to 5 wrap staged heating Clapton builds. That's exactly this, you guys will see here in a second. It's what I use as well. I think that is the best mech build that's just possible because you have all the flavor from a juicy fused Clapton and that length from a longer coil, but you have none of the ramp up time from something that is actually 12 wraps as opposed to just being a parallel coil.
Right, and the staged heating wire, like in this case, is a twisted wire. It causes it to heat up pretty much instantly because that stage wire will heat up so much quicker than the Clapton wire, which will just get it started, get it vaping much quicker.
And this holds heat really well too, with like the twisted wire and Clapton wire. There's a lot of mass there, and so it like holds this heat really well, and it allows you to take these short pulls. And when I'm using a mech mod, I don't want to sit here and fucking stuck on this thing for 10 seconds. I want it to be like literally maybe a second max. I want it to be done, And these are the kind of coils that allow you to have those immediate results.
Absolutely.
All right, we got some more pictures of this build. See, I like that.
Yeah, it's just all the same build. You can tell how ancient that is because that's in a mutation V4 or V. No, that's a V2. I'm sorry.
That's a V2. Yep.
Got the copper block.
Yep.
She's a beaut, though. I love the coloring on that. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And the purples and blues.
Yeah,
Nichrome.
Stainless.
Right? Stainless, wow.
Stainless.
My stainless, for some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm getting it from Lightning Vapes, but it just kind of gets dull. Like a dull brownish color when I'm firing it. So I get my best colorations from Nichrome 80. It seems like, at least.
I agree. If you're going for a color shot, I think Nichrome 80 is the best for color. Stainless doesn't seem to get as brilliant of colors because if you look at those, they're kind of dull. They're not like real.
Like if you see her on the ends here, where it's like it's especially beige, that's kind of like how most of them. Like if I'm using pure stainless, that's usually what they end up looking like all the way through.
All the way across, yeah. After that one's been tuned up and glowed thoroughly, that's about the color it would be.
That's probably what it is. Is that mine just get heated so fucking fast. I never get these in between beautiful, nice shots.
Low heat.
Low heat.
Low heat.
Yeah. Low and slow.
That's it.
Pulse it real gentle, and you'll get good coloration.
Yep.
When I was trying to make
wash it.
Yeah, and wash it. Yeah. When I was trying to make the stage heating wire, the first build I made, there was literally no effect from the stage heating wire because it heated up so fucking instantaneously that it was just like the whole thing went white immediately. And then even the build that I made before the build that I have for tonight, it's the same build except with more wraps because the build that I had in here before was 4 wraps, but I just took the Clapton wire one more time around for aesthetic reasons. Just to like finish it off so it looked the same on both ends. And but when I was heating them up, I ended up with big holes in the actual Clapton wire, big gaping fucking holes, because it got so hot that it was literally disintegrating that wire. It's from the Clapton that I'm using tonight is the same as the last time. Is that it's a piece of flat wire wrapped with ribbon wire, and it doesn't have the same density and the same strength as a normal piece of round stainless steel would. Okay. Now here we go. Here's Nikki's. I think Nikki's is so nice. I really, really like your build tonight. I think it's excellent.
Yeah.
Why don't you walk us
practicing.
through it?
It's just twisted, flat wire twisted.
Just on itself.
Mhm.
Twisted ribbon.
I love
Twisted
it.
ribbon.
I love it. I love the
It's
spacing in it.
clean and simple. And that's in my Primo RDA. So.
And I wasn't able to get the
Premiere.
video downloaded in time, Nikki, just because I was
No,
getting
it's okay.
inundated.
It was just a slow-mo. It was a slow-mo video of it. It was angry.
I love the pictures you took tonight. Have you gotten a new lens or something?
I just have my macro.
Oh, okay.
Added on to my iPhone.
That works really well, actually, for one of those little attachment macro lenses.
I just put a napkin down and took the pictures, and they come out flawless.
It looks great. Yeah, it looks really looks good tonight.
Looks good.
I love the little macro lenses.
Yeah. I thought at first when I saw those, I thought they were like some sort of badass tiger until I looked at them a little closer. I was like, holy shit, that's just ribbon wire.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, Travis, for interrupting. Are you showing last week's, what you were supposed to show last week also? Or
I think that I do have some from last week, and any ones that we didn't show, I'm fairly confident that I have all those in.
I didn't know if you were showing them or not.
Yeah, I will. I think All Day Vape, we had some from last week that we never got to. I think those are the ones I was trying to get to when we had the fatal crashes. So,
Okay.
but I do have all the ones that I had in my email and all the ones that I saw on my Facebook Messenger. So, if anyone's came in late, I don't have my stuff up, and so if anybody sent some late, I'm sorry. We'll just have to get to them next week. Okay. Now here's mine. Here's a top shot. Now these aren't the, I again did not have time to get my camera out because I forgot about this until the last second. But and you can even see there's a little bit of wick and stuff here. These are, but here's the thing. These are my functional everyday coils. These are a new set that I had to throw in, but they're exactly the same as any other set that I throw in there. It is a piece of Clapton wire wrapped. This one specifically is 6 wraps because this is all stainless steel. This is stainless steel flat wire wrapped with stainless steel ribbon wire, and in the middle here is pieces of stainless steel as well. The actual stage heating wire is stainless steel, and so so a little bit more wraps than normal. Usually I would do 4 wraps, but with a parallel build that would end up being 8 actual wraps. But with this wire, you can't do that because it's just too low. It came out to be 0.05, which I find to be not in my comfort zone. So even this is probably 0.09, 0.08, I would imagine, at the maximum. I do want to talk about something after we get done with this. People have been talking a lot about, heat dissipators for mech mods, like something in between your RDA and your mod.
Vulcanizer.
Yeah, something something that will
fins.
Heat fins that will but like add on heat fins.
I got some.
So yeah, like a lot of people have been talking about those lately, and I saw a video that I think Meter put up on Instagram where he was like kind of doing a rant about how people that are rocking really low builds for safety reasons should be using these risers. I forget what word he used, but the word he used was
Heat sink.
Heat sinks. There you go. I should know that. So yeah, he was saying you should be using heat sinks, and I agree with that because my mech mods will get very hot if I'm chain vaping. Sometimes, but not really because I use big old fucking chunky metal ones. But I do agree that that it is smart to do that. But I didn't even really know. I'm kind of out of the loop, I guess, but I didn't even really know that was something you could get as an add-on. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the original Aeolus came with one.
Well, yeah, there's RDAs that have them built onto them.
Oh no, the Aeolus came with them separately.
Oh.
Three tier heat sink. So you get 3 fins spaced out. It's basically dual 510.
Okay.
With a floating pin on the inside. So. Now, I wouldn't use those with a hybrid by any means.
No.
But I would use those on, anything like the broadside or anything with a floating 510 pin in it.
And I do think that if you have to build super low, I guess for whatever reason, then yeah, that's a good idea. Or if you're using like something like a triple stack, that can get pretty hot. I mean, maybe I don't think it's as important as like Meter was like kind of like going like, oh, you definitely got to use these. You know, I think if you're safe, you don't have to use them. I do think they're a good idea, but I don't think they're like a necessity, I guess, you know. But I am curious about them for sure. So
when we talk about it, I've got a couple things I'll go get and we can talk about.
Okay, excellent. All right, so here's mine. This is see, you guys usually don't see me using this a lot, except during the live streams. I don't ever use it for the reviews, even though it's my best flavor addy and my best mod. Is that it's because I never want to take my builds or my cotton out of here or use something different in here, because this is what I use my white girl with. And so this is like a rare picture of the Elios light on top of the Sub-Zero X. And there's a side view of it, and you know, with this flat wire, this ribbon wire, it can be really hard when you're doing these Claptons to get these things to space evenly all the way around, especially when you're wrapping them. But from the distance, like this is a really close-up shot, you know, 4x zoom on my phone or whatever. But from a distance, you can't see any of these little imperfections here that are very visible on this picture. And there's another picture of it. You know, I don't have any fire shots or anything, but these, and it's the same on both sides. These are it's just tons of flavor, no ramp up time, and a big, strong, heavy, dense vape, which is always what I've looked for in an all-day vape, especially for a mech mod. With a mech mod, I want the expectation of when I hit that button, I want a ton of vapor to be pouring out of the fucking top. You know, not a little bit. I don't want to fucking have any ramp up time. I want it to be immediate. The reason why I use a mech mod over something like a regulated device is because of that immediacy that you get from a direct contact to your battery. There's no chip to go through it. There's nothing. It's just you're giving me the power from the battery, and I'm transforming that into vapor. And so this is a good build for that reason.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so here's one from Kenny B. I don't know. I think this is one from last week. But he did send us some more though. So this could be one from a couple weeks ago. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a beautiful build. It is a you know, wavy Clapton, nice beautiful colors on it. There's a good separation of color here, which I've never been able to achieve, where you see it, you know, from this gold color to a yellow to a pink, purple, whatever, to blues. That's just amazing to me. I've never been able to achieve that effect.
Oh, muffin.
Good build.
I believe this is still. Hold on, let me check.
These are Freddy's.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Clean as fuck.
This is clean, yeah, clean, yeah.
Man, I can spot that mech a mile away.
Yeah. I think
Sorry,
it's
Freddie.
the broadside with a Kennedy 25, I believe.
Yep, one of these.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot there. I love that. I try to get those kind of shots all the time, but I'm just
They're
not quick
hard.
enough to do it, man.
Oh, I got one later on.
That's a beautiful.
You gotta have a fast camera.
You really do, yeah. There's a glow shot. I mean, these are gorgeous, and it looks like a a multi-core alien or Frailien with stage heating wire. It's gorgeous.
I think that's just a regular alien.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got the dip in it.
It does, yeah. And it's gorgeous.
Simply lovely.
Just clean, very clean.
Just like the name says.
Clean as fuck. Yeah, look at that. That is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. The man knows how to build a fucking coil. I'll give him that, man. No doubt about it. And that's a great shot. I always love the top-down shots. Those are great. Beautiful spacing, the way that it's all centered. That's a good build. And aliens do make a great all-day vape build because they're so fucking sturdy too. Is that those will hold up to heat and pressure and all that shit that you're going to throw at it for an extended period of time. There's a lot of wire in there. Okay, so this is from All Day Vape. I think this is from last week's showcase. So that would be, what did we do last week? Twisted?
Twisteds, yep.
Yeah, I think that's what this is here. It looks like Twisted. I can't see from this one though.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, there it is. It's some Twisted. Maybe Helix? I can't exactly
Oh, it looks
tell.
like a Helix.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a Helix. But we did say that Helix would be fine for the twisted builds because it's kind of a twisted build.
Yeah, it looks like a Helix.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
like
Helix.
fat
definitely
Helix.
Helix.
Yeah. There's a big old fucking Helix. Maybe 3 mil tube diameter. Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more.
Maybe more, yeah. That's a big old fucking chunk. And then there we go. There's the same coils not installed. Look great. Look real great.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is coming from Easy Rider. That's what he goes by on here and everything. And so here's I love this build that he sent because this really is the epitome of an all-day vape build. It is just a round wire build. So this is him with his, I love that shot. Another shot that I could never get in a million years because I don't have the fucking the coordination to do it. Yeah, but take a picture of that, son.
Oh, I have.
Right there.
I got
Slow
plenty of that.
motion video, and you can pause it in there and screen capture.
Totally. But you see, I love this because it's just so clean. Like, you can see all these little fucking particles shooting out everywhere. Gonna sting your hands. I love it. Looks great. Okay, and then going on to Easy, here's his build wicked up there. It looks like just a 5-wrap round wire build. That's gonna be, nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
Looks like 22 gauge from what I can tell.
Might be a little bit smaller than that, but
Nah.
it's a beautiful build, though. I mean, very well done, very nice and centered. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with doing we call them, well, I don't, but people do call them basic bitch builds. But, really, it's just a nice round wire build. And if you're in a pinch, especially, there is nothing wrong with throwing something like that in your mod or in your RDA.
No, I'm rocking clean round wire build right now, actually.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Especially, here we go. And something like, I don't have mine with me, but like the battle deck. To me, that's made for round wire builds. I prefer round wire builds in my battle deck. 100%.
I just took a round wire build out to put this thing in. It's a satanic alien.
Oh, there we go. Okay, and I think that's it.
No.
Oh wait, no.
What about Hesh?
I don't know why it stopped. It stopped scrolling. So here we go. Here's hashes, and then we also have some more from Kenny B for tonight's showcase. So here's Hesh. Why don't you go ahead and walk us through it there, Hesh?
So that is actually just my typical go-to. That is Firewire fused Claptons, 34 gauge over 26 gauge, just fused Clappies. Fantastic all day flavor. No issues with burning the cotton or anything like that. And it's actually I have them slightly spaced, just so slightly spaced.
Looks good.
But that's my typical. If I'm going for a fused clappy, that's the way that I go.
It's all about 4 wraps. 4 wraps is gonna give you that fucking immediate heat that you need.
That comes out to that's a dead on 0.08. So I feel confident using that as an ADV as well as for comping if I need them in a pinch.
Excellent. It's all about Claptons. For me, I used to be like a round wire guy, and until I went through all my phases with parallels and all this shit. But I was getting to where I was just like in like a 22 gauge round wire, very tight, no spacing round wire builds until Claptons. And when Claptons came along, there's just something about the way they wick that prevents dry hits. They add a lot of flavor. They hold a lot of juice. The actual coils do. I love that about them. So I want to thank everybody in the chat, who's put their builds in tonight. ADV, Kenny B, all you guys are so great, and thank you for being a part of this show. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep going. There's more.
I know. I'm just saying thank you to everybody. Clean, fucking great, man. And we're gonna keep doing this, and I think that I really am open to suggestions from everybody, not just the panelists, but everybody who takes part in this showcase. Like, tell us what you guys want to do. You know, like what are the builds you guys are interested in? Because we need to come up with something before we leave tonight, because that's the only way we all stay on the same page here. So yeah, okay, let's finish out Paul's here. Wait, that's not Paul.
Yep.
See, Antonio, it's not letting me scroll to your stuff. It doesn't want to look at it.
Weird.
There's hash 2. Nice.
Just another picture of it. Yep.
Nice top-down shot.
And you can actually see the.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's back.
Son of a bitch. Oh, he's back. Stop talking about him.
No,
Can't see you though.
Wow,
we were
man.
we were touching base with about pops. So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I came in late.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a fucking nightmare. You know, there's just no way around it. This, I don't understand. I really thought that I had it licked. I had everything closed except for this.
We were discussing it while you were gone, Travis,
Uh-huh.
and we've totally decided to blame it on hash.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be hash. No, but I honestly,
it's always at my coils.
it seems like it.
Yeah. He sent you a virus through his
Fucking
images.
something, man. I really don't get it. For everybody who's watching, I'm really sorry. I don't understand. My computer is fully capable of handling this. I have an actual beefy computer. It's not a fucking kid's computer. This is a $1,500 computer. You know, we never had these problems before, and we've been doing these Coil showcases for months. It's not like this is new.
It's hash. It always happens on his images.
Can we do like we had mentioned last week and just let one of the panelists
Gonna
show
have
the
to.
coils?
Gonna have to. Yeah. Or just let Nikki stream the whole show via her computer until we can figure it out. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. But for now,
Yeah.
I think we should maybe just stop for now. I don't want this to crash again before we have a chance to say goodnight. I just don't get it. I'm gonna contact Microsoft and OBS and Zoom and see all their technical people during this next week and see if there's something that I'm missing, that maybe it's a software problem, because it doesn't seem like it's a hardware problem. You know, I've gone through this a bunch of times. But I really want to just say thank you to everybody for being on. So go ahead, Yeti, what were you saying?
Well, we were talking about the like the fins. These are the like They used to be called vulcanizers, but they're just heat fins. You know, heat sinks. You know, it's just it's just 510. You know, you screw it down and put your Addy on top, and then you just got a set of heat fins. Giancarlo, you'll never see a picture of Giancarlo's mech without one of these on it. I've never seen him run a build without one of these. Never. So you can get these. These are anywhere from like $1 to $5, depending, because they've got three fins, four fins, and 5 fins.
Vulcanizer.
No, I'm definitely interested in that.
There's also this option. You can get either 22 or 24, or they even have 25 millimeter Delrin discs. And you just put these right underneath your Addy.
Yeah,
and screw it down.
They call them Addy savers.
You can even use them for a spacer. If you have like a battle deck that has a 1.5 mile long 510 pin, you can put 1 or 2 or 3 of these, and it'll back that pin up a little bit.
And you can even play them backwards on a record player. and then it says "Hail Satan."
You can. If you have a record player small enough, you absolutely can.
I just want to say to Kenny B real quick, before we stop the show, like after everybody says good night and everything, I will try to put your coils on before we stop. And if it crashes, it crashes. If not, yours will be the first ones up next week, man. I'm really sorry. But I will try to get yours up before we stop. You know, if worse comes to worse, I mean, there are other options besides OBS. There are other options besides Zoom. I mean, Zoom is the ideal thing for us to use. But if it turns out to be that is where the problem lives, we'll figure that out.
I actually have a meeting with Zoom tomorrow, and I could sit there and ask them.
Yeah, you can figure it out. We'll
Yes.
figure it out.
Yes, we will, definitely. I mean, we've made it further and further each week. The first week was a fucking disaster, and we crashed like 6 times.
I just know that when I try to screen share or do anything other when I'm streaming, it does freeze up the computer, and it's just too much for the processor to handle to do everything like OBS and this and pushing it to YouTube. That's 3 things that your computer is going, you know, to going crazy. So that's why it's always
processor.
Yeah, I do. I need more cores, and I am going to build a new PC, and I'm giving this one to my son. It's a 4-core processor. It's just not enough for streaming. I mean, that's the thing. And you see the people who stream like video games on Twitch for like a living. Those guys will use a PC, a separate PC to stream, and then they'll have their PC that they play games on, and they stream that image to the other PC. And where they have one PC that is only for streaming. Now, a solution may be that I have another laptop that's fully capable of streaming, that maybe I can use that to actually upload the stream, and then maybe just use this PC for all the stuff that we're using, or vice versa, you know, something.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or you could actually have all the pictures on your thing, come in here on your phone, and sit there and screen share from your phone and show from your phone.
That's true.
That's another option.
Yep. So we'll definitely figure it out.
Or
Okay, but I just want to say, you know, thank you to everybody in the chat for sticking with us. That was actually not that bad of a crash. Well, it was on my end. It didn't seem like it took that long. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will get to the bottom of this eventually. I want to say thank you to everybody and on the panel. We got Gizzard Stew. Go over and like his channel, and maybe go watch some fucking videos and subscribe, because he's got some great content. And if you don't know how to get there, go to my channel that you're on right now, and look in the on my main page, and you will see a link to Gizzard Stew's channel.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for making great content. Nikki B, where can they find you?
Vaping with Nikki B on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm at the shack most of the time. So and vaping with Nikki B at gmail.com if you have any questions or concerns.
VapingShack.org, right?
Vapeshack.org.
Vapeshack.org. It's a cool place. You guys go ask questions. It does look a little like the site itself looks a little GeoCities 1995, but the chat rooms are very well done, and people are in there, you know, talking all the time, and there's a lot of great people there. So, yeah, who the fuck is
just
Gizzard
like
Stew?
the Zoom? We have a Zoom room, which is Lounge 1 and everything, and we hang out and chat. Stick around. If nobody's in there, maybe when you pop in, it's because people are popping in and out all the time. Stay for about 10 minutes, and if nobody's there, then, you know. But there's always usually somebody there.
Absolutely. And if you so if you want to go look at yourself some really nice coils, you know, reminiscent of some of the excellent things that you see on these coil showcases, why don't you hop on over to www.yetiwire.com. Listen to the Gizzard. There it is.
Yeti Wire. It's always Black Friday at Yeti Wire.
Straight up. Headlamps are extra. You should fucking sell headlamps. That would be awesome.
I've been in talks with Energizer. There's one in the works.
A Yeti special. I love it. Okay, and then you got anything you want to pimp out there, my friend Paul?
Just find me here, OverDose Vapes, Obese Mode in the group. Find me on Facebook, Instagrizzle, and actually, you can actually now find me over at the shack.
You been going over there?
I've been chilling in the. I popped in a couple of times, you know, definitely, yeah, it's something to do. You know,
Definitely.
kids in bed, and I got nothing else going on. Instead of wasting away time in front of fucking Netflix and YouTube and all that bullshit, and watching non-vaping content, I can actually just be sitting here talking vaping like I'm doing right now.
That's what's cool about Vape Shack is that, from my experience, is that people don't. It's not formal. It's not like nobody expects anything from you. You can just put it on, and then if you don't want to be in there, you can walk off for a minute. You can be doing something else, and then come back and engage. People are very, very cool about it.
The great thing is some of the some of our friends from the text chat on Obese Mode are in the shack, and being able to cam with them and talk and actually hear their voice is it's pretty cool. It brings a whole new sense of friendship to it as opposed to just reading the chat. So it's great. It's nice.
It's a trip. It is. Yeah.
It is.
If you've only dealt with these people via text on chat rooms and shit, it's a whole new world. So.
Oh, totally is. First night, I'm just like, oh, sorry, I'm eating in front of everybody. They're like, shut the fuck up and just eat.
We eat our dinners in there just like like you would have. We sit down with our friends and family. We sit there and eat. What you eating on the night? We're gonna have to sit there and do a live show of what we're eating on.
I swear to God, Big Natty kept he was fanboying over the Voodoo Vapes last time I was in.
Let's get Natty on here.
Yeah,
why hasn't he been on here before?
Yeah, we'll get Big Natty on.
Well, Big Natty usually goes to bed kind of early, but I think he could probably spare an hour or so like that.
I would love to have him on. He cracks me up every time I'm on Tommy's show. Awesome. He's hilarious, man. He's a good guy. Yeah.
And don't forget to tune in to Tommy's show next week when the special guest will be Travis Meeks.
Me, yay!
The one and only.
No fucks vaping.
I need
Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central.
I need your mugshot to do the image that he does for No Fucks Vaping.
Okay.
Oh, I can send you one.
Oh, we got plenty.
Yeah.
We've got plenty.
Make it goofy.
Hey, maybe I'll pull one of my old oh shit, what was it? Take That Travis Tuesday fucking memes for you.
I have actual mugshots.
Yeah.
From when I was arrested.
We need the goggles.
The goggles.
There are images of me in goggles already.
I think his has some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely he does.
I've got some. If you actually go back 2 years on the Facebook group of pictures, there's a ton of memes made by me about Travis and Josh. And there's a couple of good ones where I think it looks like Travis is like looking down and scratching his nuts while Josh is looking like.
Oh, don't even. Those words, you guys sent that picture and like freaked me the hell out.
Oh, the nutsack backpack?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you know I showed that to Doc, and he actually went to the indie site and was looking out to basically do the fund me thing to basically get that kick in.
My son walks by. My son walks by, right, and he goes,
Ivory.
He goes, I want that. He goes, yeah. He goes, exactly. He goes. I've seen people with those. He goes, I would wear that. I'm like, it's got fucking hair on it and shit.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. Ugh.
The nut sack.
The nut sack.
I'm so sorry for you guys to have to be carrying those around all the time.
Back to school.
I have to say, nuts are never appealing, but I have to believe that mine look better than that. Maybe not. Probably not.
There's a whole lot of sack on the screen.
If anybody knows where Doc can find those that are actually for sale, you need to sit there and shoot him an email.
I know they are available.
Yeah.
Well, we need to find out where you can buy them because Doc's actually wanting one.
Oh, that's great.
You say, I think it'd be great to walk around a vape convention with them.
Yes. It would have to be something like a convention.
Nikki, scrotumbackpack.com.
Is it? Oh my god.
Scrotumbackpack.com. For sale. Amazon, eBay, scrotum and tote. You name it, they've got it. If it looks like a scrot.
I want a fucking fanny pack that's a scrot, so it hangs down in front of your actual scrot. Now that would be fucking classic. Oh,
scrub-
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
The scrub
Oh my
sack.
gosh, they got t-shirts.
Yep.
Ren says, that's hideous. Well, welcome to manliness. It is
I
not pretty.
And you
I
can
have,
get 10% off.
I have brass balls on my truck.
Yep.
I love those. Oh,
Yeah,
that's such a
actually-
greatest thing the hillbillies have ever given us.
Hey,
Actually,
you can
I
send them
don't.
greeting
But
cards.
Okay, yeah. So thank you guys, everybody. I'm gonna try to get these last set of pictures on here. If I don't get to say goodbye to everybody, I'm sorry, but we're gonna try it. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. If it'll let me. Desktop 1, definitely. Okay, let's try this. I got them all in one folder here. Oh god. ADV Coil Showcase. Oh god, please don't crash already. Oh my god. Can I put all these things? Can I minimize them? OBS and shit. Okay. Oh shit, they're at the top. No, they're not. They're fucking in the middle of nowhere. Okay, here we go. So here's Kenny's shot that he sent me today. Beautiful fucking shot. We got a staged heating fused Claptons or aliens. Look like alien with some. Is that helix in the middle?
No, it's a twisted twist.
Twisted twist, yeah, absolutely. Two pieces of twisted, twisted. Fucking gorgeous though, of course. Kenny makes some excellent fucking coils. The guy really knows what he's doing. A better shot there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
PDB.
Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do. Let's get out of here before we fucking ruin everything. Stop share. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys on the next show.
Get off your butts and vape.
Get off your vapes and butt. But
Get off your vapes.
honestly, you should do that. You guys should all vape. But if you're not
Masturbate.
vaping, then what are you watching this show for? I don't really understand. But also, make sure you guys tune in this week during for Overdose Vapes. We're going to be taking a look at Anger Rabbit, the Funky 160, the GQ Blue Beast, as well as several juices, Blue Monchi, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, Smacks. You guys remember Smacks e-liquid, the ones that came in the pump
Yes.
lotion bottles?
We
Okay.
remember.
So Tyra Pham, she's a good friend of mine. She's the one who made that juice. Okay, so she has been fighting in court for the last like 3 years to bring that juice back. Her partner at the time basically took control of the recipes and of the product themselves. She had to fight in court to get those to get that back. She has gotten it back. The lotion bottles are gone, but she has them both in tubes, like a makeup tube, like a lotion tube, which is amazing. And we're giving a 30 ml of that away. And they also have 60 ml unicorn bottles available. Flavors like Pony on Acid, which is a mixed berry with strawberry glaze, which is amazing. Yeah, she's got tons of really great flavors. So we're starting to look at that this week. That's going to go up tomorrow. And the giveaway will be just leaving a comment like normal. And we'll be giving that away very soon. And we'll be announcing the winner of the Killer Custard with Strawberry giveaway as well. So stay tuned for all that shit this week. And, you know, we love you guys. And that's it. Good night.
Masturbate.
Okay, here's something. If a guy doesn't ejaculate at least 21 times a month, his sperm count goes through the fucking floor. Did you guys know that? 21 times a month, your sperm rate will suffer. Luckily for me, I do that in 3 days. So.
Have we decided the bill for next week?
Oh no, we didn't. What are we gonna do?
I think it was Kenny. I don't want to give credit to the wrong person. Or maybe, no, it might have been Juan. They suggested something. I can't remember now.
Damn it.
Oh, shit, my screen's gone. Fuck.
I'll see if I can find it.
Damn it.
Razorback Sukas.
I can't do that shit.
Fuck that, bro.
Come on. It's gotta be something we can all do, people.
I think it was like just your.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it was up there a little way.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're live. Yep.
Oh,
We're trying to wait to see if we can figure out what the build is.
I'm looking.
I'm close.
Juan and Freddie said free for all. We can just do that. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Free for all. We'll do what you guys want. You know, let's do that for a couple weeks and let's see what we come up with. We might get more entries that way. So let's just do this. Let's just do an open showcase. You guys send us whatever you fucking want. And I've been thinking also, if you have some really excellent like hand checks, or maybe send us, you know, along with your build show us a good picture of the mod and RDA that you're using as well. If you know, and let's see some builds for tanks. You know, like let's see what kind of RTA builds you guys are using. I'm really interested in that as well. So,
and $500 mech mods, seriously.
just send them to me. I'll make sure Giz gets them.
Uh-oh.
All right. So yeah, free for all. Everybody send me your coils to overdosevapes@yahoo.com or via Facebook Messenger is the best way for me to get those and download them.
Don't worry, I won't send any.
You gotta send them. It's not you. Get real. All right. Good night, everybody.
You know what'd be really cool is to do them on Instagram.
Bye.
It's hard to download from Instagram. I guess I could just go to Instagram.
Well, no, if they have an Instagram account, they could sit there and upload from Instagram and sit there and tag you in it.
This is for you, Hash.
Really
That's
cool.
true. That's a good idea. So either that too. If you guys want to just do it on your Instagram, you can send me tag me in it, and I can bring it up that way as well. But either way is fine. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Kind of screenshot.
Yeah.